Okay. Wow. Uh, so you probably see the last video. There's a quick look of what's happening around me, and having this body camera definitely helps put things in perspective because, um, as a target individual, we are forced to be in a world that is so falsified, distorted, and they are trying to disorient reality. Not even disorient, try to disorient you so you can subscribe to this distorted reality they put together. You know, I was listening to these people because they all, I know they're gonna do some things to frame me to do this and that, and they tell me the person is gonna torture you, how he's gonna talk to you. Because what I do here is when I talk, I describe what happens to me, and they detest that because they want me to be subscriptive of their fantasy. Now listen, when I make these videos, I don't think it's gonna end anything. But I make those videos knowing that there'll be a day when I won't be able to. But these people live a distorted reality. As they try to do some things to distort me, they live a distorted reality, which is they call their reality, where they try to block out the obviousness. Obviously, they know that when I make these videos, it's because I'm aware there'll be a day I will not be able to speak. So I make this as recordings of things I said before. I can't say anything. And so they try to like, oh, I'll keep talking, he's gonna talk to you, like this person who's gonna torture me. It's funny, like they try to agitate you, and their job is truly to agitate you and push you into this level of retardations. But these people are living life, meaning that as much as they're playing this game for the purpose of those results, these people are not living any longer by doing this, meaning that they're dedicating their life in doing creating disorientations and distorting reality, and then they'll die. And who knows how, like, it's so sad. I could never imagine myself wanting to live a life they live, and I'm dying, right, according to what they're saying, but also I understand that they're doing things to my organs. This is not a life that people will be envious of. I heard a child, she was like, you're gonna be tortured and then you're gonna die. I was like, and then you'll die. And she got scared. It's like, you forgot that you die. Huh. Well, especially that you're involved in this, please understand, you will die. These perps that do these things to you have to block out the reality. This is stored reality. It's called their reality. In their reality, they don't die. In their reality, they just like, this is moments that they can make, get back in their life. So I'm glad that they live this life. They're trash. And you can see the nastiness they do in pushing kids. They sold their soul to entities that are so foul, and then life for them is not nice. It's not. They're not living a good life. Maybe this moment is a way to escape from maybe a reality they would like to escape, but they're not living a nice life. I don't see them as like, oh, I'm envious of your life. No. It's sad. Especially the more they dedicate themselves in that. That's why I'm like, please live this life more. Like, dedicate more time doing these things to me. I don't want them to go into living life normally. I don't want that from them. I want them to continuously live this life. Because they understand, they don't understand, which is good. That, some of them might even die before I die. Whatever gruesome death I die. And those who say like, oh, I'm gonna die after you, that's the things they like to say. They use childlike individuals, like, yeah, like as if that was gonna change if I wasn't, So these childlike individuals, these people who have no self-respect and kind of he lives this humiliating life 24/7 or as much as they can. I just pray they continue to live this life. I truly do, and I mean that in the most mean-spirited way, because I understand the reality. They have distorted reality that it's just like unbelievable to see, like how people can block out reality. They are truly projecting reality. Somebody was sending me like this podcast, and it was about how people can disconnect from reality, and I'm like, I think she wants me to be like subscriptive to this, but when in reality, I'm like, that is literally what you do every day. But I understand you try to gaslight me into believing these things. You know, I'm a target individual. So what it means, the reality of what a target individual is. We're human subjects. We are being experimented on by extremely sophisticated technology. And the entity running these programs, truly running these programs, are extremely resourceful. Because those are governmental entity. Today, I went through like DARPA websites. Jesus, like, it's so obvious where this is coming from. And the more you read through like their website, what they're working on, is like, obviously they're not going to be like, oh, we do this and that to human beings, we do it. Like, of course they're not going to do that. They give you a little bit of what they do, just just kind of, you go to directed energy, you see how they are. Oh yeah, we do these things. We work on directed energy weaponry, electronic warfare weapons, and electromagnetic. And what we do is just, we like, it's all the things they apply onto us is there, but said in different ways. Oh, we've been working on neurotechnology for, better men to computer interfaces, for like, it's just like everything is just there. Right? So when they say it's hardware, someone is like, yeah, okay, it's obvious who's running this program. This is Department of Defense type of technology. But to the level where obviously the public doesn't obviously know this. They were talking about, as I'm saying that, they were talking about manipulations of memories. It's just so obvious that they have this version. So obviously, this governmental entity are not going to talk about this technology when it's implemented in this weaponized way onto a human being. People will go crazy. Well, they have to make that knowledge known in a different ways. On the website, they talk about how they have the ability, they've been working on technology that can help create new memories and retrieve old memories. And so that means that they're basically saying that they have the ability to create memories. They have the ability to make memories. So they can falsify memories. But they don't say that like that, right? In my brain, they're just saying, no, what they're saying is like, if you're sick, if you have a problem making memories, this technology can make you create memories. So that means if they want to create these memories the way they want to create the memories, they can make those creative memories. But it's not going to be said that in the memory in this website. You just say, we can help create new memories. Well, you decide how those memories. Obviously, they can manipulate memories, but then you go into other website and they talk about how like, oh, it's so easy to change memories because they've done that. Like, this is like citizens, civilians saying that they've done that on mice, and they saw like the ease of creating false memories is so easy. It's too easy because memories are not really like, imaginations can be like, it's not something that is solid. You can change and play around with memories once you know how to create memories. Once you know how memories are made, you can. Everybody's like, and then there's like website talking about how we should prepare for the ethical aspect of manipulating memories. Like, it's just like, and this is old articles. It's not like recent. We're talking about 2016 and so. You see, you hear this website, this DARPA thing they're working. That was 2013. So they play with, like, it's so easy, it's so obvious to see the reality that, okay, they obviously can do these things with memories. They can play with your memories, and it's obvious they've been working on memories. They've been manipulating memories, and they have the ability to not only retrieve, but they start off with creating new memories. What do you mean? If I can, it's just like, oh my gosh. Right? So we are target individuals. We are the subjects. And the reason why they're so advanced with this technology is because for decades, and this neurotechnology they talk about according to DARPA website, they've been working on it since the 70s. And since the 70s, what's the likelihood that they've been using human subjects in these ways? To, like, it's just obvious where this comes from. And DARPA works on the DoD. Why do you think these things, the amount of money and structures and everything, where else can it come from? These people that contract around you, where do you think they get this money? It's obvious what's happening here. Now, these people's job is to try to break you down and disorient reality, distort reality. Disorient you and distort reality by creating their fantasy. That's why the psyops are what the psyops are. People think it's this group of people, this, this Russian, it's the cult. It's like, no, obviously, we are just human subjects. It's a psyop. We are human subject in this in these manipulations, and these people around you are trying to create this different reality and narratives of fantasy they put together. I think some of them truly think they get lost in these fantasies. Of course, we know what this is about. These tactics they've been using on us are meant to break us down. I'm not subscriptive to this. I know what these people do. When I look at these perps and try to sell this fantasy, once they manipulate me and make me think day in and day out, it's like, this is obvious brainwash. You're trying to get me to accept this. This gaslighting is not going to make me subscribe. I know what you're doing. Matter of fact, I know you're tricking yourself. It's just crazy. But I see them for what they are. But to see them dumbing themselves down for the purpose to make me believe this fantasy they've put together is never going to happen. Like, almost it's laughable, because what targeting teacher, once you see them trying to get you to accept these things, and you see the way they act and the things they say, you kind of look at them, it's like, wow, I could have been doing that. I could have doing these things. I could have made myself this retarded for the sole purpose to make somebody subscribe to these things. Try to disorient you and then change subject into, oh, you're going to die, you're going to be burning. It's like, where are you bringing that up now? Is it because I'm calling you out for the obvious retardations of way you're acting for me to subscribe? All of a sudden, you're smart 2 seconds ago, and all of a sudden now you make yourself damn near retarded? You say things that's just so illogical for me to subscribe to this. I understand. That's your job. This is called gaslighting. But I'm looking at it for what it is. You're a clown right now. Tell me how I'm going to burn. That's distortion, these disorientations. I get what you try to do. They were manipulating things. They were bringing out false memories. They were doing the stimulation. It's just so nasty. Over and over, just going into the things they play with. They go, and then, this is the things I deal with 24/7. And it's done systematically. And I see it for what it is. It's just sometimes I get just mad. For me, the worst psychological torment is when they do the pedophilia type of torture. It's so disgusting. It is disturbing. It is something that I cannot, that's the thing that is going to push me to, that is the most disturbing part. But then they try to make you acceptive of this. And they say, oh, we mapped it. We made you, we just make you think the way you would think when you were a child. It's just retardation. You see, understand and they look at you like, oh, now you pay for what you did as a child, because then they bring up what I did as a child and try to exaggerate this. And it's disturbing because I know they torture children. These tortures they do to us is not just for the fun of it. The torture are also beneficial in regard of improving this. They want those results. You don't hear the stories of target individual. Nobody's living a good life. Sufferance. But they also do that to children for the sole purpose to improve this technology, because samples, like any machine learning technology, needs as many and diverse samples as possible. Different ages, genders, races, cultures, to get this technology better. So I know they torture children, and then when they bring up what I did as a child, and having to exaggerate, and not even having to exaggerate. One moment they tried to make me remember of like this moment I stopped, once I did the stupid thing I did as a child. But me as a grown man thinking about it is disturbing. But I understand, as a child, that's what a child is capable of doing. I gotta remember, we talk about somebody in middle school. That's a kid. I'm sorry, whatever they try to make you think, go talk to somebody who's in 8th grade. They're kids. They're gonna do impulsive, stupid things, and that's what happened. Now, these people are trying to like really, it's like, oh yeah, you're just giving yourself excuses. What do you mean excuses? What kind of excuse you give yourself when you're in a program that you know torture children? Talk about a child in 8th grade doing something stupid, that's an excuse, versus you in a program that is torturing children? Of course I know reality. You are trying to block out reality. Your job right now is to remove any logic and rationality while this is happening. Because you understand that I'm not letting that happen. These people do horrible things to women, men, and children. They torture them. They know this is the reality. They try to distort reality, but they know the reality of things. They're going to continuously manipulate me to think in these retarded ways. I understand that. But I've seen that for what it is. They will try to bring up some person I saw on the train, and she looked like more like in the mid-20s or so. But as I was looking at her, they give me a little bit like I was like, that's so cool. And they're like, oh really? And I'm like, listen, go. I go look at people in teenagers and 26 years old. They could do the same thing. Really, there is. They see these things. It's crazy. And it's continuously things like that. Listen, I'm not perfect. I know who I am, but I will never subscribe to this manipulation. So you seen this kid, they made her this kid, like even the way she was holding her purse to try to look like an older person. So pathetic. I'm saying they try to do this thing. You understand? So if they can do that to kids like that, I wish you could see that this person in person, and this kid in person. Can you imagine what they can do to older, like the young adults or whatever? And they would try to have this battle in my brain. It's like, oh yeah, it's like what? And I pull up, okay, let me bring up a Tinder profile. Look at this 26-year-old. You see that? What would happen if I saw her? What if I saw this person and I didn't see the age there? There'll be a back and forth. Oh, there is, there's you, there is. And these are the things they like to say. This is crazy. It's non-stop. It's always these nasty things. With that being said, too, you got to be strong. You just know yourself. Understand yourself. And my memories are fading away. So they change even what happened at the time. But this is the stupidity. And I have my body cam because sometimes they, when they force me to look at a child and then give me this perception, it's just like, oh. I was like, I'll look at it later. I have my body cam. They're gonna, the reality versus what they do in my brain is two different things. It is disturbing, but you gotta be strong. And so you hear these people, oh, you abuse, like try to talk about me as a child. But you gotta understand that they try to vilify you, right? Now, this woman is in my childhood, something I'm not proud of course. But as a child, you gotta understand children can do stupid, impulsive things. But what they do cannot be. There's no explanation. How can you block out the reality that you in a program that is doing these terrible things to children using this military-grade weaponry that can do so much? We talk about suffocating, sexual torture, sexually torturing a child, hurting a child sexually. This is some of the things they've done. This is what this program does, because sexual torture is It's a key element in these tortures that we go through as a target individual. We all get some kind of sexual torture. A lot of women talk about how they get sexually tortured, even men, but children too. So this sexual torture are methods that are being used onto target individuals of all ages, all genders. It's so disgusting. And on top of that, for us men and women, the pedophilia type of torture is systematically done to us. It is done to us, and it's non-stop. Before this, they were bringing up what they did to me when I was like at the airport. I saw this little toddler, little 2-3-year-old kid running around. You know what they've done to disturb me, and the way they made me look at this kid's butt and perceive this kid's butt, this little toddler baby, just so disgusting. It's the nasty things I deal with. And like, no, we mapped it. That's how you will see it when you're a kid. No, I will not see it like when I will not see it this way when I was a kid, or if I was a kid. But I'm not even a kid. I'm a grown man. This baby is now make me have these disgusting perceptions. It's disturbing. It's non-stop. It's non-stop. And they try to be like, no, now you pay for it. It's like, yes, I know you try to make me subscribe to the pedophilia type of torture. And they try to disorient you. Because the reality, they torture babies like that. And they make men and women look at babies in these sexual ways that are disturbing. And try to be like, oh no, it's you. It's you. It's natural. It's not natural. It's manipulated into me. And it's disturbing. So to all my target individuals, stay strong. Because what they've done to us is disturbing. But they do that to even more vulnerable than you. If you think you're vulnerable, look at the testimonial. You hear infants. These people are the human trash. Listen, for me, who keeps bringing that up, and not only bring that up and bring up testimonies from others that validates what they do to men, women, and children. And the theatricals and the psyops they try to present themselves as, I know the torture will be theatrical, meaning that they will torture me, but in a way that is meant to be creating a theatrical aspect of things, to block out the reality of what they're in. They are trying to be like, you see, we're going to torture you like this and that because you're that. You see, if somebody take your eye out, that means it's proof. No. You were exposed for what you're involved in and what you do to men and women and children. And you think that me being tortured this way is going to block out this reality because this person can do this thing to me. Of course. What do you mean? You can have me done. Everything can be done to me because I'm a target individual. I'm a human subject. I'd rather get tortured every day of my life than having to live my life covering up for what you guys do to people, including what you guys do to children and women. I'd rather suffocate than having to be involved in a program that suffocates children. And try to make the psychological torture, which is disturbing, working day in and day out to try to make a man or woman be conditioned into looking at kids in a sexual way or create that perception. Reality will come to them. Their distorted reality has an end. It's going to come one way or another. My torture, whatever's going to happen to me, is not going to do a thing about that. But they want to get escape into that. For me, it's like, listen, I don't want you to escape. Try to escape still, but there's no escapism in this. It's just to enjoy your time right now, and enjoy my torture. Whatever makes you, please, I would prefer that you maintain your life dedicated in doing these things. So when that distortion of a reality ends, you'll be like, damn, what was I thinking? I should have just. To all my target individuals, stay strong and do not subscribe to this nastiness. These bottom videos will be reimbursed. I just pray to God to give me strength, but I thank Him for not having to live a life where I have to make myself to get to that level. Thank you, God. To all my target individuals, stay strong.